folks, and welcome back to the Grumpy Gamer channel. That's it, you guessed it. This is that channel where you get to see this old git talk about modern games. So for today's in-car comments, two things I wanted to discuss. The first thing is, obviously you guys must have seen by now, we've had a massive price drop in the UK for the PSVR2. It's down to 349, which is like 200 quid off, which I think is a very, very, very positive thing, because we're already seeing headsets just flying off the shelves. I've heard reports of people saying it's getting difficult now to get hold of a PSVR2 because every shop they're going to, they've literally sold out. So, and I've seen so many people joining the VR groups that I'm in, saying they've just picked up the PSVR2 and they're just getting into it. So this is a really good thing. Obviously Sony aren't going to earn as much money from it, but their headsets are flying out the door. More people buy their headsets. That means the community's growing, which means that more developers will be inclined to take the time to make ports of their games for the PSVR, the PSVR2. I'm hoping games like Formula 1 2024, I would love to see that. I've spoken about that briefly before. I'd love to see that game have a VR mode for the PSVR2. It would be awesome. Yeah, I can't see any downside to this at all, other than Sony's gonna not earn the money they wanted. But are they, once they sell this stock, are Sony going to be making more to continue selling them? Or are Sony just going to sell off their stock and that's it? Once they've sold them, that's it. I think personally they are going to continue to make them. I think they're going to stick at their price. Once they see how many are being sold, I think they are going to ramp up production again. That's what I'm hoping anyway. I don't think they're just going to sell them off and then that's it, we're done with it, and wipe their hands and be finished. No, I think this is a really positive sign, and it shows that Sony is, you know, they want to sell headsets, clearly. But like I say, there are so many people saying, yeah, well, I think they're just going to sell them off and that's it, they'll be done with it. They're going to wash their hands of the PSVR2. No, I can't see it myself. I really can't. But of course, only time will tell. But it's a good thing. I think it's a really good thing. This is really, to be honest, the price it should have been from day one. I think if it was around this price, even $399, it would have sold way better. You know, I've said it before, the real sticking point for most people is the fact that it cost more than the actual console. And you've got to remember, for most people, VR is just an add-on. That's all it is. It's a peripheral. They mainly game flat screen games, but they buy the PSVR to have a go, yeah, and it's a bit of a novelty for them. Unless you're a hardened VR enthusiast like myself, who just wants to play VR over anything else. You know, there's not so many of us around. Like I say, most people tend to dabble in a bit of VR, but they stick to their flat screen gaming mainly. I would obviously like to see that change. I would like to see more and more people take up VR as their main way of gaming over flat screen gaming. You know, for me, it was a no-brainer. As soon as I started with VR, that was it. That was next level gaming for me, and I just didn't want to go back. Yes, I play the odd flat screen game, but not very often. So yeah, so that's why I think people were so reluctant to fork out the money. I get it. You know, if you're not a mad VR enthusiast, you're not going to sink $550 into a headset that costs more than the actual console you're playing it on. You're just not. So hopefully this is a good turning point. I actually think it's a bit too cheap. You know, I think they could have easily done $399 and they'd have still been flying off the shelves. But hey, I'm not complaining. $350 makes me a bit gutted for myself, because I obviously paid $550 last year. So yeah, but having said that, I've had a year of great gaming experiences. I'm still waiting to get my left sense controller back. When I've got an update on it, I will let you know. It was sent off last Friday. It's only Wednesday, but I have heard people saying they're getting it back within a few days. Some people say it's weeks. But as soon as I've got it back, I will let you guys know. Now, finally, before I go, I just wanted to talk about this update again on Gran Turismo 7. Oh my God, I don't think I've ever seen so many people whinge about this new update, claiming that their cars are undrivable and I've spent hours tuning, it's ruined the game for me. And I honestly don't see what the fuss is about. I really don't. I think the physics make it more realistic, definitely, I really do. The only downside for me from this update, the only downside is the fact that they've really, I think I said it the other day, they've really lessened the force feedback for the G29 wheel. I don't know whether it affects all other wheels out there, but I do know for the G29, the force feedback is very light now. Yes, you can feel it, but it's very light. You're not really having to fight the wheel like I did before. So it's a bit of a bittersweet thing for me. Yes, I enjoy the new physics. I think the cars handle more realistically, definitely. But the downside is they've messed up the feedback. So all I can hope is when they release another patch, they'll have listened to people and they would have put the force feedback back up a bit. You know, come on. It almost feels like the force feedback isn't even turned on at certain times. But other than that, I think it's fantastic. But yeah, so I just don't get all the hate. I mean, God, one of the GT groups I'm in, I won't mention the name, but one of the GT groups I'm in, God, there's so many whingers and toxic people in there. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Oh dear. But yeah, so let me know what you think, guys. The update's been out for a good few days now. Let me know how you're getting on with it. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, has it ruined the game for you? Because it certainly hasn't for me. I'm still loving the game, still really enjoying it. But let me know if you think it has ruined the game for you. And let me know why. What are your reasons why you think it's ruined the game for you? Anyway, folks, that's it from me today. I hope you have a fantastic day. And until next time, folks, I shall see you guys on the other side. Adios.